Hey, John, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hey, I've got an intriguing story here. I wonder if you fellas caught it. It was just a small blip in the on the Internet on a couple of spots. I noticed about a ship that went down in the Atlantic west of Portugal about 2 weeks ago.
And what does this have to do with the price of mustard on the Chicago Exchange?
Okay, that's the curious question. I'll try to relate this as quickly as I can.
All right.
Okay, I saw an article about midnight Sunday night. It just went up. It was on presstv.ir, and it was linked off of a story off of Bloomberg, and I just checked this at just an hour ago, and I can't find it. They have so many stories coming up there rapidly that the old ones get knocked off, I guess. And I checked on Bloomberg and Press TV and didn't find it.
Okay.
But anyways,
all right,
this
go
is
ahead.
the story. There is a Maltese-flagged Finnish freighter with a Russian crew. I think it was either 12 or 15 Russians were the crew. The whole crew was Russian. It was supposedly loaded with timber going to Morocco. Mm-hmm. It went down and disappeared off of in the Atlantic west of Portugal. Now, the intriguing part is, before it got there, when it was off the coast of Sweden, it was invaded, taken over by so-called pirates disguised as Swedish police, who tied up the crew, roughed them up, tied them up, and held them captive for 12 hours while they went through the ship.
Okay.
Now, how often do we hear of pirates in Sweden? How often do we hear of pirates that are disguised as cops, Swedish cops, and who has the capacity to shut down a system's radio and communications and GPS so it just disappears off the map and it goes down at a certain point down the channel in the Atlantic there? And so the questions that come to me is, what was on that ship? And it's been totally silent as far as I know in the news.
Has anybody bothered to ask Meneved why we've got Russian boomers sitting off our East Coast?
Well, I can understand that. I think the Russians want to keep an eye on these sneaky clowns in Washington.
Well, the last time I said this, I had a guest, ex-Special Forces, as a guest years ago on the air, and I had made the statement that they were, at the time, they were talking about backpack nukes, and, they're running rampant, and Russia can't account for all of these nukes, and this, that, and the other, and, it's a possibility that somebody might want to try to blow up Washington, D.C. I said, good, what would we lose? Well, don't you know that the guys in the suits and the earpieces visited this guy on his ranch the very next day and said to him, I hear you're threatening the government. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences along those lines.
Yeah. At any rate.
The thing I'm thinking, though, here, it's very possible that this could have been a Russian ship. Why would a Finnish shipload of timber have a Russian crew?
I don't know. You're bringing up a lot of questions I had absolutely no answers to, and you don't either.
Yeah. I just thought Bob Chapman might like to hear that story. I'm sure he's heard many stories in the past similar to that.
Well, he could probably tell you a lot of stories that turn your hair gray, right, Bob?
Yeah, well, off of Portugal is pretty rough. That's where the Atlantic feeds into the Mediterranean, and it leads to Gibraltar. And every time I went across between Morocco and Gibraltar on that giant catamaran that they have, I mean, it was never calm at all. And I was in one storm that was absolutely terrifying. I mean, the water was coming right over the boat. But it's rough out there, and I think that the chances of a ship going down in the Atlantic in that area is excellent.
Yeah, the intriguing part is the part about the pirates in Sweden, though. That just caught my attention.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
The story does not add up.
It's very strange.
Something going on.
Yeah.
What they might have been doing, the Russians might have been sending arms to somebody, and the ship might have been invaded by Special Forces or Navy SEALs or who knows.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And they might have set charges and blow it up.
No. But okay, I just thought I'd bring that up, and because it seems to have went down the memory hole. I went to Bloomsburg today and couldn't find anything on it. And on Press TV, I went there, but they only go back like 10 pages on their past articles, and they got breaking news articles hitting all the time.
More criminality, Rick. I don't know what category to stick that one in. Thanks for your call. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
When we get back from the break, I'm going to make an announcement here. You people that are too poor to venture to the Freedom 21 deal, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday up in Oklahoma City, we've got a special treat for you. Stand by for this. We're going to tell you, and I want you to email your friends about this as well. Time is short, folks. Let's get it together. I may or may not, if I get up to Oklahoma City in time to do a program tomorrow. I was going to wait tomorrow to make this announcement, but in lieu of that, I'm going to have to do it today. What we're going to do on this network, rather than suspend programming, I am going to run simultaneously with the regular lineup. No program interrupt us here. I'm going to run the conference, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday conference in its entirety. That will be streamed over republicbroadcasting.org. Now, the situation has been set up that this thing is going to be streamed, live streaming audio and video, but they're charging $45 for that. I want people to hear the information, and I got in there and I fought and I scrambled, and I want you people to hear what's going on. Now, there is a guest list of speakers up there that the likes I haven't seen in a long, long time with the most up-to-date information. Go to freedom21.org and check out the event. If you can make it up there, please support those people that are. But for those that can't get away on a Thursday and a Friday because you have to work, you may not have a job next week, this network will bring in its entirety, at least the audio section. Go to republicbroadcasting.org. There'll be a Freedom 21 banner up there. Click that on. You will be able to hear the entire conference via the Internet. And, folks, I'm getting a little bent out of shape. I'm getting a little threadbare here because I see these clowns, the globalists, moving at light speed. And I am trying to do everything within my power to wake as many people up as humanly possible. So this is what I want you to do. There's many of you listening to the show today. It's the highest rated show on this entire network, bar none. So this is what I want you to do. Email, get out your email trees and email this to everybody. To be here Thursday, starting at 9:15 in the morning, Thursday morning, live from Oklahoma City. You'll be able to hear the entire Freedom 21 conference, free of charge, for those 3 days. Just refer them to republicbroadcasting.org and tell them that the conference is available for them to listen to. We're probably going to crash a lot of servers, but you know what? I don't care. Richard in Arizona. Hello, Richard.
Hi, John.
Hi. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was wondering if I could ask you, where were you reading that article from about the upcoming scenarios and so forth?
That I told you where that came from. It came from Bernadine Smith from the Second Amendment Committee out of Hanford, California. And she put a cover letter on this, and she said, I am relaying you this email that was sent to me. She said, I placed it in one of those situations. Where's the noise coming from? Well, pull it down wherever it's coming from. She said, this is one of these situations where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So that is the information that was relayed to me by Bernadine Smith of the Second Amendment Committee out of Hanford, California. And I got to tell you something. I have met a lot of women in my life that have been in this battle for many, many years. And I got to tell you something about Bernadine Smith. She's one of these solid women that I'll tell you what, I would trust more than a lot of men that I know. So that's where it came from.
The reason why I ask is my wife and I have recently become friends with a couple, and the woman and the other couple is formerly from South Africa, and she says the same thing Robbie does. She says that we are going the same way South Africa went. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is, whether you believe it or not, she is a natural psychic. And it struck me when you were reading the article, reading that from the other woman, and this is what this woman tells us, is that she has consistent and reoccurring dreams of a Mad Max scenario in this country.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm not the end-all, be-all, and I'm not a seer, and I can't sit here and tell you that people don't have precognition. Okay, so she might be right on the spot, or she might be a wingnut. I don't know.